So the context of today's event is CRERS. As you know, CRER is a little difficult to pronounce. It's about construction and real estate and related services. But the idea of today's meeting is, as you know, construction sector is going very rapid pace. Last year, growth was mentioning about year on year, almost 9%. GDP contribution by construction sector is about 4%, around 5%, sorry. And every contractor is struggling to get their own resources, either it could be materials or labor, etc. About me, actually, I'm Srinivas Sama, as you know, convener. I'm past chairman of Institute of Structural Engineers UK, and last 2 years I'm the convener for the CRERs. To begin, could you please brief us about your 2 decades of journey?
Well, the journey in brief is like this. We have been into real estate development for the past 45 years. The company was started by my father and my uncle in India. 20 years back, there was a reason to expand, and that's how the journey in Dubai started. As you would have seen from this little clip, that our business model is slightly different. We retain 30% in every project we do. We are a zero debt firm. We do one project at a time, and that's how we kept on building equity. And in this journey, we do contracting in-house because that helps us in quality control and timely delivery. In the journey, we also do property management and sales in-house. So we have a real estate arm as well.
So I've been handling multiple businesses. As sir introduced, my core, I'm a technocrat, and in 2017 is when the calling came for owners association management, when the GOP rules got extremely stringent in UAE. So we are one of the RERA approved companies who manages multiple GOPs in Dubai. And we began slowly, steadily building our processes. Until 2021, we were managing only 4 buildings and 200 units under management. From 2021 until 2025 year end, we've seen some good growth. We've grown to 35 buildings under management and around 6,000 units, roughly about 6,000 units under management. So this has been the journey of Symbiosis. During the process, we've won some accolades from third parties. We've won some recognition from the authorities. This has helped us. The transparency and the integrity has helped us in this journey.
That's great. Great to know your journey. So, move on to the next question. When you say this is to be real estate, what does that truly mean in practice? How do the different branches of development, construction, operate, concept, the system, all this bonus, how you make it?
The intention for the interaction today is to very humbly share how the field operates in general. A lot of it people would already know, but we thought we would give a perspective because almost all of the things that happen in the real estate chain, they are associated. So any development project starts with the procurement of a land. Depends on what you want to build, whether it's residential, commercial, retail. Then you go into your planning bit. So as a developer, the first project is procurement of land. Then you do your primary research, secondary research, what are you building, whom are you building it for. And then you go into the process, a very critical process of design. Sometimes, like in our company, we have multiple architects we associate. There is of course a lead architect, there is an in-house architect, there are the architects in India. So you come up with a product which you feel is true to the audience that you want to build. And then you go into approvals and contracting. That's where the in-house contracting comes in. So we build our projects ourselves, we build it in-house. Once the project is complete, it goes into this handover, then of course you have the facility management and the owners association comes.
Yeah, great. So you complete the project and then you go to the next project. Not
Yes, so
all that.
when we move from one project, see, every real estate developer can have his own way of looking at things. So since we have come to Dubai, we have decided that we want to be zero debt. We want to retain 30% in every project we do. And that's why, we all the capital that goes in, we wait for this project to complete. And then in this way, with every project, our own assets are also increasing. And it gives the investor a confidence. It's like one of these restaurants where even the owner of the restaurant eats here. In fact, our whole family lives in one of our own developments. We work out of our own building also.
That's it. I think I'll go with the next question also with you. And from your great journey by managing all multiple realistic functions, what is the one misconception you think have about this industry and so what behind the scenes?
And there are quite a few. One is that real estate developers are extremely greedy. They make a lot of money. But you just have to look at the circumstances, like look at what is the land cost today, look at what the contractors are quoting. So that's one misconception for the developers. For the contractor, the misconception is that, he's always going to look at extra item. He's always going to delay a project. Contractors don't carry a good reputation. But you have to understand, from each perspective. For a real estate broker or property manager, the perspective is, this is a glorified salesman driving a sports car and wearing flashy clothes. But there's a lot that goes behind. It's not just that.
You want to say anything about that?
So I guess, the function that we manage is owners association management, and it's you get 99% of the things right, and the one thing that goes wrong, which can in most possible, you're dependent on people, you're just dependent on machines, you're dependent on so many things. The one aspect that goes wrong gets blown out of proportion. So yeah, I guess to everyone in the service industry, I thank you all for all the services you all provide, and I think once I am on this side, I appreciate the efforts that go in while you provide a service to any organization or building.
Service industry is very important. Then this question goes to you again. From your experience, what differentiates a well-managed building from that one really looks good in the beginning?
So, what I define as a good looking building is it's extremely good architecturally on day one. The launch is amazing, everything is shining, everything's doing good. But I believe a well-managed building is a building which you look at, which looks fresh and well built and welcoming even in the 5th year or the 10th year of operation. I believe that is a well-managed building. And I think a well-managed building requires a couple of very, very important aspects. One is consistency. You're doing the boring thing again and again. You're going through a FM checklist on a daily basis when 99% of the days everything seems fine. You're maintaining transparency, as in your owners know what they are paying for, where is that money going. I think this is what basically defines a well-managed building, where owners feel one with the building, they are heard, you have communication with them, and that's what defines a well-managed building.
This question goes to Mr. Sailesh. Again, your journey, right? In your journey, what were the decisions, not projects, that shaped your growth as a developer?
I think with that very, very valid question, I think in this journey, perhaps the first decision which I think has really kept us afloat all these years is being a zero debt company, or being prudent with finances. I think that has really stayed with us along. The second decision, I think, to move into your own building has given us a very different perspective. It is given this lived experience. So we are able to work hard on our designs because we are living in the your own buildings, you rub shoulders with your customers, so you come to know exactly what are you're looking for. And then of course having the whole chain of development, contracting, and even sales in-house, the communication goes out effectively where 80% of our customers are real end users.
I think you cover the majority of the development, so we have good questions from my side. Just from this no. So I think this question again to you. I've seen your video. You mentioning affordable housing. Here I see your projects. In this regard, affordable housing is often misunderstood. From developers' lines, what does affordable touring mean when done responsibly?
We came up with this vision almost 10 years back in 2015, perhaps when nobody visualized this. And it came from, say, living in your old buildings. So how do you create housing for someone earning 6,000 dirhams a month? How do you create housing for someone creating 15,000 dirhams a month? So we wanted to create a segment in this because we can deliver this, because if you are contracting in-house, you can pass on those margins back to the customer. So we came up with a case study. We call it Affordable Housing and Pillars of Affordability, and where he said that all stakeholders are responsible for affordable housing. That is the developer, the government, the financial institutes, and also the customer. And we came up with a threshold or a definition for affordable housing when we say your annual salary times 5 should be the value of your apartment. So say how many times? 5. So your annual salary times 5 should be the value of your apartment. For example, if I earn 10,000 dirhams a month, that is 120,000 dirhams a year. So anything up to 600,000 is the threshold that I will comfortably live with, because even if you look at the EMIs or once you take the finance, it will automatically fall within 35% of your salary. So we started with that, and then so affordable housing has this misconception that we are compromising quality. In fact, rather than that, we are using perhaps keeping quality to anywhere in Dubai. So your air conditioning would be still from the bigger players, your tiles would be from rag ceramics. You would in fact even be giving a green buildings, you would be giving solar, because you want to even make sure that once the building is ready, the service charges are fixed. And then we have mapped these units. So a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, or a 3-bedroom apartment, or even duplex. You have come up with which areas, if I were living here, are the times where I spend my maximum time in, and you don't compromise in those areas, and then you work out your apartment sizes accordingly. You give lesser balconies. So affordable housing is a very niche segment, and because not a lot of people look at it, we are always drilling true to it.
It's great. What should owners realistically expect from owners association, and what should they not?
So I guess what the job of an owners association management at the start of the day is to understand the vision that the owners have for their building or the developer has sold to the owner. I mean, if it's an affordable housing project, there is a level of service quality that needs to be maintained and which is acceptable by the owners and not exceeding their expectations on service charges. Further, if it's a luxury project, then there are different sets of requirements that are involved. There might be a requirement of a valet, there might be a requirement of a concierge, there might be multiple niche requirements which a luxury projects require. So I guess the most important point that you should expect from your OA is to understand the requirement of all the owners in the project, the various stakeholders in the project, and replicate it for you in actual and be able to execute that for you. Further, very, very important is we are an administrative body. We do not basically render services directly. Each and every service is rendered from a specialist service provider. Say, a swimming pool maintenance will be done by an authorized Dubai municipality approved swimming pool maintenance company. Lifeguards will be approved by DM. Security guards will be SIRA approved. So each and every sub-service is contracted to a specialist company. So yeah, we are administering them, but we are not the one rendering the service. We are just tendering and buying them on behalf of the owners for you.
Great. And again, this question was to you, Mr. Kunal. Great. So, why do maintenance charges often become a part of our tech? And how can transfer change the conversation? It's very important. So, maintenance charges are a big challenge for many of the end users, as you know.
I guess this is the favorite question I'm asked at every forum, that why are service charges such a big issue? So again, as I answered previously, the role of an owners association is to replicate the expectations of the owner. I think when we try to imagine the requirements of the owner and over provide them or under provide them is where the issues rise up, right? So I believe the most important point for any owners association is transparency, to let every owner know. The question from the owner should not be why I am paying the service charge. It should be for what all am I paying this service charge. The day you are able to communicate it, that these are the aspects for which you are paying service charge, I think it answers majorly most people's questions. Further, even RERA has really worked hard in increasing the transparency. Right now, when you receive your invoices directly from land department, you have more trust on it. You believe that it has been audited by someone has reviewed it. And further, if you check your invoice, you have line item wise breakup. What are you paying for? If you turn your invoice to the backside, you see how much you're paying for security, how much you're paying for cleaning. Each and every line item is clearly described. So I guess communication from the owners association to the owners is very, very important, or how they can know what they are paying for.
Very good. After a couple of questions, we may request you to ask the question. So please prepare so that they can provide good insights into it. Next question, Mr. Sailesh. What are the reasons of working across Europe to track heating heritage backwards to the one and change the way you design that project?
Yeah, when the reason was a necessity, the most important aspect for a developer is delivery. You can have whatever plans you have, you can have whatever execution you want to do. If you are not able to deliver what you have committed in time and to the quality, you will always suffer. I'm a civil engineer, my father is a civil engineer, and when we came here, funnily in the first project, our contractor went first. It can happen, because in this city, who all are in contracting or designing, you look at one project where things go wrong, what you must be doing in 10 projects, it takes away whatever effort you have done. So we decided we have our own contracting company. So we paid in-house because of that. When it comes to sales and leasing, of course, whatever benefit I have in contracting, I'm passing it on to my end users. And then here, for a group like us to work with, say, some of the bigger real estate brokerage or sales firm, some of the fees they have to make the project unsustainable. So we manage it in-house again. We have an in-house team, and that's the other thing the leasing team or the brokerage team does is, once the project is ready, which we have retained 30%. So if there is an investor who wants to rent, it is my team who rents the whole building. So if you have invested with us, they get this advantage that once the building is ready, you don't need to worry about who's going to rent your building. For facility management, if you have made a wonderful building, and if you don't maintain it well, 5-6 years down the line, those small incremental decisions that you take can impact. So that's why the facility management team is there, and it covers all the aspects. With you owning the building, you are participating as an investor investors get a confidence that the developer has not quit and walked away. He has still skin in the game. So he is with us even after the project is sold. That's finance.
That's it. And another question again, what's the question, Eric? What role will family users and long-term residents play in shaping better development today compared to 20 years ago?
Oh yes, this has completely changed. See, if you would have seen last year, it has been the biggest and a blockbuster sales year for Dubai. 970 billion was the total volume of sales, 270,000 apartments sold. So it tells you that people are buying more than they were, say, 20 years back. 20 years back, we had all this apprehension. How many years am I going to stay here? How many years we will work here? Today, we are here as citizens of choice. We may not be citizens by birth, but we know this is where life is going to be. The fundamentals of the city are very strong. The leadership is very, they're taking care of people. The smallest of things, they want to achieve the best standards. All this has helped people, make this decision to buy their homes more now. And, we see that now buildings come to become communities. So, for example, in one of my buildings, it's become a community of airline crew members and pilots. So if you have parents, you have children, you have air hostesses or people working in the airline industry, somebody is traveling for 3 weeks or 2 weeks, they have the neighbors to take care because they are from the same field, like-minded people coming together. In one of my projects, it's dominated by doctors. So nurses, doctors, teachers, or people from the same community, friends, family, choosing their neighbors together. So people are buying like a community now.
Right. Thank you, Kunal and Sailesh. And this again is question what's your our experience. What question should an investor ask themselves before signing a listed purchase? Correct.
I think Dubai is a wonderful city. No matter at which time you are buying, we should just make sure like whatever financial decision we are taking is first accurate, we can sustain it. And then the city is very transparent. You can check the developer's reputation. You can go to the land department. There are platforms where through the REST app, you can even see if the project is on schedule. You can see the reputation of the developer. Are there any delays, any issues, etc. So we have a very transparent system now. The due diligence has become a lot easier.
Thank you. This question is to Kunal. Where the technology generally add value to the living thing? And where is often overhyped?
Just so I feel that technology has currently become a keyword for every problem. You face any problem, you think what technology can do. But I believe that technology should remain more human, right? Because as for my business, it's a people-driven business. We are dealing with owners, we are dealing with developers, we are dealing with the regulators. Each and everyone have their own expectations. So technology needs to be a platform which can help answer everyone's requirements per se. So I'll give an example of what we do is we are using a platform, an ERP solution for our business called Rajan, which is developed here in Dubai, which is integrated with the land department. So it eases a lot of our processes in terms of reports that land department require. It's real-time process to land department. Further, it helps efficiency in terms of owners are using the land department payment gateway to pay their dues. So it gives them more transparency and trust that the money is not passing through any third-party intermediary, directly coming to the building's escrow account. And further, owners are able to communicate their feedback, their complaints or their requests to the same platform. As a community manager, it provides us a platform which gives us real-time, funds available, expenses borne, budget balances left. So I believe that technology plays a very, very, very important role, but there is a thin line between turning technology into a robotic workforce for you or a humanized, more efficiency adding humanized workforce for you. And for my industry, the humanization is very, very, very critical.
Good. Good morning. My name is Moy. I would like to ask question like you talk about quality event for development. What factors do you see before that?
So I think every developer would have his own way of looking at land. So because we are catering to direct end users and families, so we would see the access to schools that forms one of the critical decisions. How is the infrastructure in the area? You would look at that. So these are a couple of questions that form. So because we are catering to end users directly, so where is it that they would like to stay? That is what shapes the decision to purchase the land.
So I have a question on the labor accommodation. About a year back, the bed space is the cost for 8 to 4 houses. Now it's going up to 750. So how is this issue going to be addressed? What's coming in? Can you throw some light on?
Yes, you are very right about it. See, we are going through a sweet spot of development. You are seeing contractors busy, etc. So the blue collar labor, which is coming into a city, the blue collar workers are a lot more. Once the buildings are also ready, so the facility management staff also comes with. If you follow the cycles, you can see one peak in 2008 where bed spaces were 800 dirhams a square feet. Then there was another peak in 2016 when around the expo it came back to the same time. And then also there have been slowdowns in labor accommodations. We own a labor accommodation also. And in those times, the blue collar labor after expo or after the COVID have gone back also. And in those times, you have stopped building those. So the absorption rate has now come back. You'll again see in a couple of years people developing more labor accommodations and prices will stabilize.
Thank you so much for sharing the transparency regarding about it. There's no doubt about the quality, location, price. The main concern is like you also have your own sales team. So where the JSK real estate or a real estate house will stand?
Sure, we work with, it's not that we do not work with the sales team. But see what happens is, it also eases my channel partners' communication. So if you have an in-house team, it's not that I'm not going to give fees to others, but the communication needs to be consistent. Then what we are building, for whom we are building, what is the developer committing. So all those things are going through one. But yes, I don't come up with a lot of inventory. And you will say 80% of the sale happens through word of mouth. So someone is already living in the building, he's renting, but he can't buy the unit, so he has the advantage of going into off-plan. So some of my customers would move. So my transactions are not many. I'll give you an example. This project I launched and I just sent out a communication through the app. We have an app which the company, Kunal's company, looks after. Like this is to inform we are coming up with this project. It was just that communication, and in 4 months, we were committing. So this time we did not even get the opportunity to market the project. But we are open to work with it.
I see you are in the affordable segment and you have made your developments in the international city, Silicon Oasis, and Dubai South, but more fun. Now the plot prices here are also the kind of level of uniformity just come all across the city. That is just thing. So which are the new affordable locations do you envisage are gonna be there? Because I see the price uniformity all across the areas which are affordable or the medium habitat. So where do you see your business going forward?
When I mentioned 2008, 2016, it was pertaining to the labor accommodation. But yes, you could say that have we reached or have we not? It's very hard to say because people are still coming in. The city still has a vision, so we'll have to wait and watch. What you will have to do is every decision you take, you have to be pragmatic. And yes, you would have a best scenario. And what if it's not a best scenario? How are you going to overcome that? And you are very right about the land prices too. There is nothing which is affordable. Everything is premium everywhere. So these are the challenges we have to, definitely work. And like I said, that's one of the reasons you go from one project to project and you retain 30%. But one thing also is that if you have been here for this long, you'll see every few years a new benchmark has been reached. Even if there are slowdowns or corrections, you're not always going to go back to the pricing which was previously there. We are progressing that way. So yes, you are right about the price everywhere going high, and we'll have to wait and watch. It's something that you will come to know through the absorption rate. If at that land price and today's contracting and construction price and developers overhead, if someone is able to sell, then it is a sustainable market. If you are not able to sell, then you'll have a relook at those prices.
So,
Thank you very much.
we are moving towards the conclusion part of the session. I am having the last question. My question, both of you, what advice would use your professionals entering into either your space or your space, developed in that way? Not about weather, but about mindset.
Before we come to the conclusion, because you brought in such a valid question, sir, I think one of the innovative things which is coming up in Dubai now is tokenization, and I think that could be a game changer where you are able to invest say 100,000 in across 20 projects and still invest too. I think what advice can I give to any professional? I give an advice which my father gave me when I joined business 20 years back. He said, one thing is obvious which you understand, that you are representing your country. You are not in your country. You have left home to come here. So obviously, you believe whatever your interactions are there, you are representing your country. But don't forget, you are living amongst 200 nationalities and you are representing even the city of Dubai now. No action you do should bring a bad name to the city, because with so many nationalities, they should not say that a developer from Dubai did this, or a contractor or a property management or a facility management from Dubai did this. I think we owe a lot to give positivity to the city.
So for me, I guess, since the service industry is a more people-driven industry, I'll just say that everyone who joins the service industry should be patient and have empathy towards your customer, empathy to whom you're serving. And I think the industry is built on 4 pillars: trust, transparency, integrity, and service to the customer. If you are able to provide this, and your intent and intention is to provide this, I think everyone wins sooner or later.
Both of you for wisdom words for implementation, our goal is to join Symbiosis. Thank you. This is a small illustration of your guest two players. And by the way, today's sponsor is Sun Sand. Big round of applause to. Yeah, please. Mr. Israni, can you please brief about Day of Solidarity so that we'll have a national anthem? Because, please, he's the one who brought to this in the morning.
Sorry, I wasn't aware I am supposed to announce or anything. But yesterday, in one of the tweets from Sheikh Hamdan, he communicated that on January 17th each year, we will reflect on resolve the unity and solidarity shown by the people of the UAE, standing proudly behind the national flag to safeguard the country's achievements, uphold its global standing, We invite everyone across the UAE to follow our national media channels, which will broadcast the national anthem at 11 a.m. Saturday, as we renew our pledge and determination to continue advancing and elevating our beloved country. So we are just following the protocol. If we can stand up for the national.
Jaya